Greetings and welcome back to A Wolf Uncaged. This is Seth Speaks, The Nature of Personal Reality. This is the beginning of Chapter 4, and it's also our Part 18. Let's begin. Your imagination and your beliefs, and a few words about the origin of your beliefs. In physical life, your conscious mind is largely dependent upon the workings of your physical brain. You have a conscious mind whether you are in flesh or out of it. But when you are physically oriented, then it is connected to the physical brain. The brain to some extent keeps the mind to a three-dimensional focus. It orients you towards the environment in which you must operate. And it is because of the mind's allegiance with the temporal brain that you perceive, for example, time as a series of moments. The brain channels the information that the mind receives to your physical structures so that your experience is physically sifted and automatically translated into terms that the organism can understand. Because of this, physically speaking and in life as you think of it, the mind is to a large extent dependent upon the brain's growth and activity. There is some information necessary to physical survival that must be taught and handed down from parent to child. There are basic assumptions of a general nature with which you are born, but because the specific conditions of your environment are so various, these must be implemented. So it is necessary that the child accept beliefs from its parents. These will reinforce the family group when the child needs protection. This acquiesced belief, then, is important in the early stages as infant develops into child. This sharing of mutual ideas not only protects the new offspring from dangers obvious to the parents, it often serves as a framework within which the child can grow. This provides leeway until the conscious mind is able to reason for itself and provide its own value judgments. Later, I will discuss greater aspects of the origin of ideas, but for now we will simply speak in terms of this life, the one you know. The beliefs that you receive, therefore, are your parents' conceptions of the nature of reality. They are given to you through example, verbal communication, and constant telepathic reinforcement. You receive ideas about the world in general and your relationship to it, and from your parents, you are also given concepts of what you are. You pick up their ideas of your own reality. Underneath all of this, you carry indelibly within you your own knowledge of your identity, meaning and purpose. But in the early stages of development, great care is taken to see that you relate in physical terms. These are directional beliefs that you receive from your parents, orienting you in ways that they feel are safe. Cushioned with these beliefs, the child can be safe and satisfy its own curiosity, develop its abilities, and throw its full energy in clearly stated areas of activity. So it is quite necessary that an acquiesce to belief does exist, particularly in early life. There is no reason, though, for an individual to be bound by childhood beliefs or experience. The nature of some such beliefs is that while seemingly obvious ones are recognized as harmful or foolish, others connected to them may not be so easily understood. For example, it may seem silly to you that you ever believed in, say, original sin. It may not be so obvious that many of your present actions are caused by a belief in guilt. We will have much to say about the ways in which your beliefs can be connected, simply because you are not used to examining them. You may say, I am overweight because I feel guilty about something in my past. You may then try to discover what the charged event was. But in such a case, your trouble is a belief in guilt itself. You do not have to carry such a belief. I am well aware that strong elements of your civilization are built upon ideas of guilt and punishment. Many of you are afraid that without a feeling of guilt, there would be no inner discipline and the world would run wild. It is running quite wild now. Not despite your ideas of guilt and punishment, but largely because of them. But we will have more to say about that later in the book. The early ideas given to you by your parents then structure your learning experiences themselves. They set the safe boundaries within which you can operate in early years, quite without your conscious knowing, because your mind, connected with its brain, is not that developed. Your imagination is set along certain roads. Largely, but not completely, your imagination follows your beliefs, as do your emotions. To some extent, there are certain general patterns. A child will cry when it's hurt. It will stop when the hurt stops, and the emotion behind the cry will automatically change into another. But if the child discovers that a prolonged cry after the event gets extra attention and consideration, then it will begin to extend the emotion. From the earliest stages, the child automatically compares its interpretation of reality with its parents. Since the parents are bigger and stronger and fulfill so many of its needs, it will attempt to bring its experience into line with their expectations and beliefs. While it is generally quite natural for the child to cry or feel badly when hurt, this inclination can be carried through belief to such an extent that prolonged feelings of desolation are adopted as definite behavior patterns. Behind this would be the belief that any hurt was inherently a disaster. Such a belief could originate from an over-anxious mother, for instance. If such a mother's imagination followed her belief, as of course it would, then she would immediately perceive a great potential danger to her child in the smallest threat. Both through the mother's actions and telepathically, the child will receive such a message and react according to those understood beliefs. Many such beliefs lie quite within the conscious mind. The grown adult, not used to examining his or her own beliefs, however, may be quite unaware of harboring such an idea. The idea itself is not buried or unconscious. It is simply unexamined. So, one of the most hampering beliefs of all, as earlier mentioned in the 614th session in Chapter 2, for instance, is the idea that the clues to current behavior are buried and usually inaccessible. This belief itself closes you to the contents of your own conscious mind and prevents you from looking there for the answers that are available. Now you may take your break. This marks the end of Seth Speaks, The Nature of Personal Reality. This is the beginning of Chapter 4, and this is our Part 18. What did you think about this particular passage? Please leave it in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until the next time, peace. If you found something in this video that sparked a thought, shifted your perspective, or just made you feel more grounded, consider showing some love by buying me a coffee. It helps fuel the channel, keeps the uploads coming, and lets me know that the content matters to you. The link's right below in the description or on my channel banner. No pressure, just appreciation if you're moved to support. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged.